Hi everybody, this is Michelle Anglisano, co-author of Methylation Madness, Insight into the Biochemical and Personal Lives of Hypermethylators. So today I am making zucchini boats. I took 5 really big zucchinis, and I hollowed them out so they're nice and empty. And then I took all of the insides and I put it into a bowl. Then I am heating up a pan as we speak. I'm going to actually turn it on now. I'm heating up a pan that has olive oil in it. And I also chopped up some tomatoes and a bunch of just bell mushrooms, baby bell mushrooms. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking some pink Himalayan salt, because that's pretty much the only salt that I use. And I'm going to give it a really, really good salting. My blood pressure has been very low. It was 86 over 56 the other day. And that is because my adrenaline is dropping. For some reason, it's just cycling around at this point, and it will lower my blood pressure. I don't have any symptoms or anything like that, but it is kind of weird having such low blood pressure right now. I usually am 110 over 72. I put in some white salt also. I'm on a white salt kick for some reason. And what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put the tomatoes in first. Now, just so you know, tomatoes are a histamine. So I don't normally eat tomatoes, but once in a while I will. I could balance out the histamine from the tomatoes with dark chocolate, or I could just pick the tomatoes out. I gotta raise this heat up there. I'm also going to salt the tomatoes, because they need a little extra taste with some pepper. And I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. I also have thyme that I'm going to sprinkle in. Here, I'll show you as I do. There we go. I'm going to sprinkle in some thyme. And then I have parsley. Let me put you down again. I have to use my tripod, but it's packed right now for the convention. So I'm throwing in some parsley, and then I'm putting in a little basil. I do not use a lot of basil because basil is a methionine, so I do not use a lot of basil. One of my favorite dishes used to be pesto, but I cannot do that anymore. That raises my adrenaline, and I feel like garbage. So I'm going to let these cook down a little bit and get all that water out of it. And then I'm going to throw in the zucchini. Okay, so I tossed in the zucchini with the tomatoes, and I made the tomatoes big enough that I can pull them out also. So that'll be good. So this is going to... The zucchini and tomatoes are like super, super watery. So I will cook this down even more. And then once that's almost done, I will throw in the mushrooms. It smells yummy. So normally a human would put in some garlic into this masterpiece here, but Sulfur City cannot go near it. I don't think I'm going to throw in my magic coconut aminos, because it's just not going to really add to the flavor that I want to go with. I'm probably going to add in more parsley, actually. Just really douse that up with a ton of parsley. I'm using dried because I want a kind of a deeper flavor. So you can see how much parsley I'm using. Mix that all up. And I'm cooking it because I don't want it to get super watery when I throw it into all my zucchini boats. So I am going to wait a moment to see how that cooks down, and then I'll add my mushrooms. So you could see how much water liquid comes out of this. That could actually be a pretty cool soup if I added some broth to it. But I'm just cooking the heck out of it right now because I don't want it to get all goopy and nasty. So that's still going. That smells absolutely scrumptious. It's very quiet in my house right now, and I actually have 2 puppies here right now, and they're being very, very good. As I sit, see, look at that. How great does that look? I just hear Dean Martin singing in the background on this one. Okay, so I threw in the mushrooms, and now, ooh, that was hot in my hand. So I'm not going to be really cooking these mushrooms down much at all because they will end up getting all mushy mush. So I'm just kind of mixing them in for a moment. Then I'm going to take a slotted spoon because they also release water too. So I'm just going to take a slotted spoon in a couple minutes. I threw in a lot more thyme too. Let's smell it. Oh, that smells so good. So I'll take the slotted spoon and push my bowl over closer. This way I can take out all that liquid. And I'll throw it into the bowl. It's a lot of liquid. It's amazing how much liquid vegetables have, right? It's cool. Okay, so I took all of the veggies out, and look at all that. Is that unreal? And I drained it, and that's still in there. So I'm going to drain the rest of that water back into the pan. And I might use that as some kind of, I don't know, some sort of something, a broth of some sort in another recipe. All right, so this is all of the liquid that came out. I'm actually going to taste it. What's it taste like? Oh, that's yummy. That's really, really, really good. That could be a nice base to something. And I took out a whole bunch of water, but as you can see, it just keeps coming. But that's no matter. I am going to scoop it out and put some of it into the boats, the zucchini boats. I'm using the slotted spoon just so I don't pick up extra water. How good does that look? Oh, just the color contrast is awesome. Food definitely has to look good in order for you to be more into eating it. I eat some pretty crazy things that don't look good sometimes, but they still taste really good. Oh my goodness, look at that. Throw more in this guy. Sort of empty. Right. Might have to actually split it up now that I'm being so generous. But we'll see. Just so you know, I'm doing this with one hand. Pretty impressive. And holding the camera. Just got a shot at the floor, sorry. I just cleaned, so it's super, super clean in my house. And I have a lovely candle. It's a red grapefruit candle. That smells so good. Oh, people are arriving at my house. I think it's my daughter and my niece. And the dogs are going to go crazy right now. I'm going to take some of this guy that I was so generous to and throw it over here. And this guy here, and more over here. I'm stealing Okay. So those look fairly well stuffed. Okay. Sorry about the puppies in the background. I stuffed all of these, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it with some avocado oil, or as my daughter used to call it, avocado oil. Avocados when she was a baby. And then I'm going to take some of the Kite Hill ricotta cheese, and I know everyone's going to say, oh, it's backwards, Michelle. So I'm going to take that. Let me set you down somehow, some way. Sorry, I'm working some wacky stuff right now because I don't have my tripod. All right, so I'm going to put some dollops of the almond cheese ricotta on it, and I can't put it on my daughter's because she's on a cut right now, and she's a bodybuilding beast. Oops, I just dropped some. So I'll just take some clumps, and what I'm going to do once I'm done is I'm going to put these on the barbecue. So I'm just taking little scoops of it, 2 or 3. I like 3 for each one. Oh my goodness. It's like Dr. Doolittle's over here. Not Dr. Doolin, Dr. Doolittle. All the animals here. Alright, I got 2. Oh, I have to leave 1 for Olivia. Empty. I'll make 1.5 for Olivia empty. Alright, now I'm going to put another little piece on this guy in here. Then I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese, and yes, this is as well, it's a histamine, but this is just a tiny bit. It's not going to kill me. So I'll sprinkle on it. Also give it a nice little salty bite. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Oh God, that looks so good. My house smells delish right now. And wash my hands up quick. And I'll show you what it looks like all said and done. How yummy is that? So, biochemically, the zucchini is a glutamine, and that helps with emotion. It makes you more kind of lovey-dovey. Mushrooms are neutral. Tomatoes are a histamine, like we spoke about. The Parmesan cheese is also a histamine. And the almond cheese is an aspartic, just so you know what the biochemical makeup of that is. So I'm going to actually throw these stinkers on the barbecue. They should take about, I don't know, maybe a half hour or so, just until the zucchini boats are not drowning, but floating a little bit on the edge. I haven't even tasted this. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, that's really good. These are going to be amazing. So that is my video for the day. It wasn't as poppy and as exciting as most of them have been, but it was a lot of cutting, and I didn't have my tripod, so it was a little crazy. All right, I will take some pictures and I will put them up onto my Facebook page once it is all finished, so you can see the finished product. Have a great day. See ya.